This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Welcome to the Elevate Construction Podcast, where we focus on quality at the source. My name is Jason Schroeder, and today's podcast is titled, Take Off Your Bags. This is the Schroeder series for workers and foremen on Saturday. So let me start out this topic by saying that when we do boot camps for foremen, the mascot is a German Shepherd, and the saying that we have folks memorize is lead the team, maintain order, and be the shepherd. And German Shepherds are highly intelligent, and again, they maintain order. They can be police dogs, they can be assist animals, they can do a number of things and be very high functioning leaders in anything that they do. Those dogs are super intelligent. So I love using the German Shepherd as the mascot for foremen. Then field engineers, that's the honey badger, and superintendents, that's the wolf, the alpha. So that introduces us to this concept of that foremen are the ones on our project sites that really maintain order. They are highly intelligent, highly skilled, highly trained, and able to make sure that they are leading, that they are maintaining order, and that they are shepherding people in the right direction. Now, nobody can get the idea that I mean that workers are sheep. What I'm saying is that foremen are highly intelligent, like German Shepherds are, and they are able to maintain order, and they are able to do anything they need to do. Bottom line is, in construction, we live or die by foremen. They lead everything. They do everything. They guide everything. They keep us safe. They maintain quality. They maintain order. And even if the superintendent is good on a project, even if the PM is, even if the field engineers are, if the foremen aren't top-notch and performing in their role, then the project will fail, period, end of story. So here's the concept, and this is a brief concept for you, foremen, and for workers who are judging foremen. I need to be clear. They need to take off their bags. Foreman, you need to get your bags off. You do not belong working as a part of the cost of work. You can charge your time to the cost of work at, like I said, as in your codes as a part of your units, but you have to get your bags off. You cannot be working. It will be detrimental to everything that you do. 100% foremen have to be watching for safety, quality, cost, schedule, and they have to be training. So this is what a foreman's day should look like on a large commercial project. Attend the foreman huddle the day before and plan the next day in detail. Attend the worker huddle the next day with their workers to get aligned and to create that social group. After that worker huddle, do a 25-minute crew preparation huddle where you take time to train your men and women, where you take time to walk the project site, you 5S your area, you teach them about the 8 wastes, you ask them if they have improvements, and you make sure that everyone is set up with the tools, equipment, information, and materials that they need to be successful that day, and you empower your sub-foreman and your lead men to go do that. Train the workers every day. That is the key thing that a foreman should be doing so that everyone can see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group, set those expectations clearly. So what we need to do is get foremen to put their bags down, stop working, get their head above their backside, and make sure that work is going in the right way in a safe manner, and actively coach, actively communicate, actively hold people accountable, actively inspire people, actively know the quality expectations, actively read the drawings, actively assess things like a field commander. The other thing I would say is I've told stories before. I'm not going to do it in this quick podcast, but I've told stories before where foremen have to get materials, they have to get people, they have to get information to the workers, but that does not mean going off-site. A foreman has no business going off-site, running to Home Depot, running to these different places. He or she needs to be with the crew on-site, providing materials, manpower, information, equipment, everything that they need to be successful and to communicate quality expectations. So again, get information, materials, equipment, to the workers and oversee the work actively without your bags on. So let me give you a quick example of what not to do, and then I want to talk about what to do. This will be 2 minutes max. So one time I remember telling a foreman, and I should have been more clear myself, but I was after the fact. There was a foreman that was in charge of concrete foundations, and they were doing columns. And I said, hey, the crane has to come through here. We need these column cages moved from here to another staging location like we had talked about in the foreman huddle the day before. And that foreman immediately just went over and grabbed two workers and said, hey, you go move those columns. And that was it. And so I was assessing this person. This was new. I went over to the foreman and I said, okay, I'm going to teach you here really quickly. And I said it in a humble way, in a nice way, but I'm like, I'm going to teach you. When you go guide someone, you need to make sure they have all the information. Here's what this should have looked like. You should have gone and asked if you were interrupting standard work, if interrupting them would have created an unsafe situation, confirm that those two people were available. Then when you do confirm that and you grab them, you come over and you walk with them and say, this is what we're doing. We need the columns rebar moved from here, the cages moved from here to there, because this is a crane access way. We need that cleared continuously, and we need to make sure that it is in the designated laydown area. Now, how are you going to do it, workers? What you need to do is go schedule time with the forklift. We need to have this type of rigging. We need to make sure that you are using the person with a certification to move that. And here's the angle at which I want you to approach it and how I want you to rig it. It needs to be put on dunnage per the specifications. I will come mark out where it goes with you right now. And what I need you to do is fill out a pre-task plan. And this is what I want you to consider on how to do it safely. And then go grab the helper, make sure they're 100% on board, review the pre-task plan with them, and then say, okay, does everybody understand? Repeat that back to me. That is how a foreman should lead. And foremen that are trying to do the work and they're going fast and they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off, it doesn't make any sense because they're not watching for quality, safety, cost, or schedule. We need them to be the best mentors, the best trainers, the best enforcers, the best watchdogs, guard dogs, the best shepherds out there on the project site. That's my quick little 5-minute podcast. Foreman, you have to take off your bags. We will go over more concepts like this for you in the future. In the meantime, you need to be watching. You are the guardian. You keep people safe. You maintain order. You are the leader. On we go.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time on the Elevate Construction Podcast.